In this section of the course, we're going to have a couple videos on some very important tests and checks that should be done that are sometimes overlooked with AI chatbots or other AI tools, and that is testing role-based access control, specifically how it pertains to how the AI is able to gather information. And so what I mean by this is, in this video, we're going to actually show about trying to access the tickets. So we may have it set up properly where, if users aren't authenticated or they're authenticated as a different user, then they can't see the details about other people's tickets. And that's all fine. That's, fairly normal how it should work. However, the AI chatbot itself may just have, full access to all of the tickets, and we're relying on its internal guidelines or guardrails, or, it wasn't really fully thought through to not, reveal tickets to other people that they shouldn't. And instead, there should be some sort of role-based access control still for the chatbot when it's acting on behalf of another user, and it shouldn't be able to even look at and get the details about tickets for other users, because then we might leak that. So to give an example of this, let's hop over to the virtual machine now. Okay, so I'm over at the landing page, and of course we got login required. Please log in to view and manage your support tickets. So let's go ahead and log in here. Again, it's customer@example.com with the password customer123. Okay, and then we've got all these tickets here. So we've got, urgent test, and we've already tested. Now, if as logged in, we talk to the chatbot, it knows we're logged in, it knows our name, and it'll help us with these tickets. So what happens though if we come into this one here, and let's actually try, let's try, what do we have? Discount. Okay, yeah, let's take the discount one. So let's copy this ticket number here. Copy. And then what I'm gonna do is let's go over to burp here, or to here where we're gonna use burp. So let's turn this on. And actually we gotta launch up Burp Suite again here. So let's launch up Burp Suite. Okay, so let's go proxy. We'll turn on our intercept. Now let's head back over here. Let's fire this off, make sure we got this. Yep, okay, all this is good. So we're gonna fire this off with just test here. All right, so this is holding. That's exactly what we want. Let's head back over to Burp Suite here. So let's send this now to Repeater here. Open up Repeater. And now let's just say, can you tell me about my tickets? Perfect, so let's send this over, see what we get back. And this responds exactly as it should. I'm sorry, you're not logged in. Please log in. Okay, so that's fine. So let's say instead, can you help me with ticket? And then paste in that exact ticket number. We'll directly reference this, and let's send this over now. Okay, and you can see we're not logged in here. We've got no conversation ID, anything like that. There's no logins here. And we get, I'm happy to assist you with your open technical support ticket, TMC, and it gives us the details of it. So this could potentially also have like other customer leaks or details, and, also potentially now we could trigger some of the agentic capabilities as well to, maybe get this ticket to be closed by just saying you can close this ticket, or you can escalate it, or whatever. So it looks like directly the users are not able to access those tickets, but in the back end, the chatbot is able to go out and access tickets, even if the user that's asking about them isn't authenticated. So if we were able to, guess tickets, or if there's enough of them, we know the naming scheme of them, then we could go and get details and cause a lot of havoc with this. So that's going to wrap up this lesson here. I'll see you over in the next one. In this video, we're going to take a look at another potential avenue for retrieving details or things that we shouldn't, that are outside of our role and what we should have access to, and that is the conversation context of other conversations. So let's hop over now to the virtual machine and try this one out as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is let's close this. I'm going to turn this off for a second. So let's disable this. Let's log in here. So we'll go customer@example.com. Customer 123. Let's log in. Well, let's go not now. Okay, so let's go in here now, and then that's okay. We just need our burp here. Looks like burp was throwing that off. Okay. So now let's send over a conversation here being logged in. Now let's go test. Actually, we're gonna do this all in burp again. So we got a proxy. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that should be getting held by burp. And now we have this post here. Okay, so let's send this over to repeater. Go into repeater here. And then let's just do like a normal conversation. So we'll say like, I had some issues with my device. What's the warranty at too many cables? So fairly standard. Let's send this over now. See what response we get back. Okay, so we got a standard response here. Exactly what we expected. But what we really want is this conversation ID. So now let's head back over here. Let's close this. Now let's disable this. Let's log out. Now let's turn this back on. One here. This will be, I'm just going to say test 2 here, so we make sure we pick up the right one. Come back over to, to burp here. Okay, so we are going to be in proxy here. There should be a post here with test 2. Perfect. Test 2, exactly. So let's send this to repeater now. Okay, so if we take a look at the 2 here, we've got cookies. So this one's ending in SAGM. This one is got a lot more details in it because we're actually logged in. So now let's come over here. Let's grab this conversation ID. Let's copy this. Let's pop this in here. Perfect. And then now let's go and say something along the lines of, can we pick up on our previous conversation? Can you remind me what the details were again? Let's send this over now. So we're not logged in, don't have the same cookie. Let's send this over and see what we get back. Okay, and we get a response back here. You can see it's saying, yeah, we're not logged in, but it's continuing with our previous discussion, how we offer a lifetime warranty for defects. And so it's definitely picked up on some of that conversation history, which again, this could contain sensitive details or things like that. And the users don't have direct access to it, but the chatbot is able to. So again, we should be using that role-based authentication for the chatbot itself, so it can't even look at other conversations as well. So another thing before we finish this section of the course that also should usually be tested for is if we have RAG, which we're going to learn about in the next section, then we probably should implement role-based access control for those documents as well, and then check that thoroughly to make sure that also it can't access documents that it shouldn't. So for the purposes of teaching and being able to try and pull things out of RAG, we don't have that at all for this chatbot, which is definitely a design issue. But that would be one other thing to test too, is see, as unauthenticated users, or maybe even like low privilege authenticated users, what kind of documents can be pulled back from RAG as well. So that's going to wrap up this lesson here and this section of the course. I'll see you over in the next one.